Welcome back to Planet AP. If you're new here, it's crazy out here, but you're gonna love it. Today, what I'm gonna be sharing with you is something that I created accidentally, and it was so insane how fast it worked, how crazily it worked, that I had to share it with you. And only because this morning I did this intuitively, like I've been doing this for a while, but this morning I used this method, and I was like, I need to share it with these guys. What am I doing, right? I don't want to gatekeep this shit. So it's called the time travel method, right? Now, what is the purpose? What is this purpose of this leaf? What is the purpose of this method? Okay, let me start with that. The time travel method is a very fun, very fast, very silly little method that you can use to instantly shift to your highest timeline, A, go to the, or B, live from the wish fulfilled, shift your state of consciousness. And you might hear my birds because usually I record at night, but this is midday and they're right there. So I apologize, my friends, but I know some of y'all missed my birdies, okay? So there they are. Anyways, so you can basically use this method to, if you're, let's say, a lot of times what happens with people is when they quantum leap, right? The ego mind, the autopilot subconscious self starts to get, sometimes it'll get in the way, right? And sometimes it'll start to throw you thoughts that make you feel like, maybe I haven't leaped or something, right? So this is what you use then. Or if you are having a moment of doubt, this is how you, like, this is the method, okay? This is it, all right? And you're gonna have the best time doing this because it is so fun and it is so easy. It always works. Always works. But we're gonna start here. Because first, I need you to understand why this works. And for that, we're gonna do a little bit of Quantum 101. Just a refresher. I know y'all know your quantum stuff, but just a little refresher in case you're new here and you're looking at the crazy out here. I'm gonna tell you the difference between how the 5D, the 4D, and the 3D operate, the way that they intertwine with each other, and then we will tie it all to the time travel method, all right? So the 5D, the quantum realm, is where everything exists, right? There is no separation over here. There is this one giant present moment where everything exists because creation is finished. So even when we're manifesting stuff, right? People are like, I want to manifest $1 billion for Goodell. You know, you're not... And you put pressure on your manifestations when you think that you're actually creating something from, like, out of thin air. That's not what manifestation is, right? This freaking sleeve picks up, dude. So manifestation is not creating anything out of anywhere because creation is finished. Khalas, it's over, my friend. So what you're doing when you're manifesting is simply that over here, in the quantum realm where everything already exists. There's money, there's love, there's opportunities, there's things. Everything exists. Manifestation is simply bringing something from the unseen realm, using your imagination, using your intention, using your focus to the realm of the seen, the 3D, the matter, all right? So that's why manifestation is very easy and it's something we've always done our whole lives because everything in your 3D, yes, even the things you don't like, is a manifestation because you're always manifesting. So you don't need to learn to be a manifester. You don't need some freaking ritual or process or herbs and spices and candles and papers and put it under your pillow and sleep for it. You don't need that stuff, all right? Because you are already a powerful master manifester. You've been doing it unconsciously your whole life. But the process, or when we formalize this idea of manifestation, what we're actually saying is that now you become conscious of what you manifest because your mind is always projecting onto the screen of the 3D your reality, and it is always connected to the 5D, the quantum realm. So it is always whatever is here comes out here. So if you want to change the out over here, you want to manifest something, then what you need to do, honey, is change your state of consciousness, period. Okay, here's also the difference between quantum leaping and manifestation now that we're talking, right? To manifest manifestation is when it's when it's about a specific thing, right? I want to manifest a car, which means I want to like bring a blue specific type of car that does not exist in my 3D reality right now, and I want to draw that into my reality. That's one specific thing. What I love about my work is that I'm so over manifestation because, hey, we're always manifesting, right? So why don't we go a little deeper? Because if you're always manifesting, what would be even cooler than just drawing in a car would be to become the type of person for whom not just that car, but everything else that you would associate to the kind of lifestyle you would like to have, or the way that the world works for you, and every single little detail in between. You change that. So you change the very laws your reality operates on. That's the vibe. Like, why would you want to just manifest a freaking car when you can rewrite the rules of your entire reality? When you can change the way the world works for you, because that's what quantum leaping is, and that's what I teach you all, and that is what this process is also related to, okay? I'm getting a lot of different accents right now. My neurodivergence is like beaming, so please appreciate it and enjoy the show, right? Now let's get to this. So the 5D is over here, right? This is where everything exists in the present moment. So to manifest is to bring something that already exists in the 5D, in the unseen. You're just not seeing it because you're not a frequency match for it, right? To manifest means you become a match for it and it appears in your reality, period, right? A lot of examples of manifestations are, well, you guys know what it is, right? Quantum leaping, you go from like this timeline to an entirely, for example, you're here, you go to this timeline. It's a whole timeline jump, which means you rewrite the laws of your universe, okay? Now, what is okay, we understand that's the 5D. So this is where everything exists and every timeline exists. Infinite timelines, every possible reality that could exist for you, every possible potential of a life that could exist for you exists it exists right here, right now, in the quantum realm. There's no past in the quantum. There's no future. There's just this present moment. And that's why everyone's always about like being mindful and being in the present, because this is where the juice of life exists. But we are so heavily either obsessing about the past and this one drunk and that one drunk and or we're worried about the future. Oh my God, how is that going to happen? And you miss this present moment where every single thing exists. Why would you do that? Why would you do that, man? Now that I give you guys like a disclaimer about the birds, they just suddenly decided to shut the frick up. Period. Okay, so I got so passionate that I lost the point I was making. Am I even recording? Oh, why would you go down? This freaking, okay, let me just fix the camera. Please stop filling around, Mr. Camera. Okay, you guys are gonna have to bear with me on this. Okay, do not fall. If I bring you a little closer over here, so wait, just okay. Please don't make it move. Period. I don't know how I look like over here. I'm gonna assume I look good. Okay, so in the quantum realm, every single thing exists, right? In this present moment. Now, how do you draw something from the quantum to the physical world? With your 4D. Imagination, okay? Your imagination, your inner reality is the 4D. This is the bridge between the quantum realm, the 5D where everything exists, and your 3D where it is made to manifest. And what does manifestation mean? For something to go from unseen to seen because you just became a frequency match for it, right? So what we're really doing is we're using our 4D, our imagination, as a tool, as a bridge between this unseen realm to the seen realm, and we're drawing things here. And this is why, this is the physical world, the 3D world, right? This is the world of objects. It's the world of senses. It's the world of impermanence. It's the world where you can see things with your perception. You use your senses to make sense of this world, okay? Senses. Sense. Okay? And this is the world where you live off the notion of a past and a future, past, present, future, where time is seen as a separate thing, that there is a past out there and there's some future out here, and it's a linear thing, which it is not. That's the biggest delusion, is that of a linear little timeline, because time is actually just one big present moment where everything, past, present, future, everything exists right now. Because even when you access the past, right, when are you doing it? You can't go and actually live 5 minutes ago. You can only remember it over here. So it only exists in your mind. You can't go out, travel to the future, and when the future comes and you're in it, it's when? Now. So now this moment is the only thing that exists. And that is the greatest thing ever, because your mind is actually time. And you can use your mind, and you already use your mind to time travel. Every time you think about the past, you're traveling back in time using the mind, and everything you feel about the past, you feel about it right now, which is why people who keep reminiscing over the past, and you keep feeling the same emotions of the past and keep feeling and experiencing the same things over and over again, they keep recreating more of the same, because every time they remember that, they're creating more of it, because this is the projector, right? So over here, when you, whatever you store here, whatever you feel here, day in and day out, the laws of reality you convict to, all of those things, the state of consciousness you have is manifested in your seen world. So if you want the seen world to change, the slowest way to change it is to use logic and to force it to change. And the fastest way to do it is to shift your state of consciousness, your state of mind, your state of time. You see what I did there? So quantum leap, right? Quantum leaping means that you're going from one state of consciousness to another state of consciousness, which is why quantum leaping is instant, because quantum leaping is a psychological journey. It's a psychological shift that you make when you go from consciousness number A to consciousness number B or C or whatever. You simply use your mind to make that leap. And when you do that, you change the very essence of your being in the present moment. And since all these timelines already exist, you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to do anything. Just by making that psychological gift, now you're emanating a very different frequency. Now you are a magnet for a very different reality. Why? Because you simply shifted the consciousness that you were operating from, which means that you shifted the signal that you were sending out. And so when think about it this way. At some point in your life, maybe I'll give you my own example, right? One point in my life, I used to go to university, okay? And I was in a very different state of consciousness. So I had a very different self-concept. I saw myself as a very different person, and who I am today is a very different person. So my state of consciousness today versus back then is so dramatically different, and my life is a reflection of that. Your life outside is simply a mirror of your life inside. Reality is a mirror. So when you want to change something in a mirror, right? Okay, I don't have a mirror, but I would have. If I would have, I could have. But here's an example, right? Imagine this is a mirror, okay? This is you, and this is your reflection in the mirror. Now, let's say you have two hair standing out like this, and you don't like that. So are you going to fight with the mirror and be like, hey, change the hair? Like, what's going to happen? No matter how much you yell at the mirror, the reflection's not going to change. So all of the problems and the experiences, and whether it's your health, whether it's the money, or whether it's the relationship, the love, the whatever, I don't get chosen for jobs, like everyone else gets a promotion and I don't, I don't know what business to start, the whatever it is, right? The more you fight with the world about it, the less it's going to change your experience of it. You're just going to end up feeling more and more frustrated and create more and more of it, because you're constantly affirming that state of consciousness. that says, I have this problem and I have that problem and I'm this limited in this way and that way and that way and that way and that way. And reality is like, all right, bet, bro. Period. Say less. And then it just, and so you go like, I feel so you know, maybe a little more eloquently, but like, point is, you don't change, like if you want to change the reflection on the mirror, you change what you're reflecting. You don't like that hair on your head, you put a gel on it, fix it. Because the reflection will change when you fix it. It's inside out. It's not outside in. People wait for circumstances to change how they feel. Like, oh, when things will get better, then I will feel better. But if you feel better, things will change. Period. Like, people are so addicted to using the world outside to justify why they behave the way they do or why they feel the way they do. And then they'll go to, like, you know, like they'll find every reason in the book to justify it. And hey, like, if you want to be that, for sure, do what you want. Do what you want to. But, like, understand this, that's not going to get you anywhere. God did not create this life to be hard for you. God did not create for you to suffer in this world. God never made anything hard. He never said hustle and break a sweat and don't sleep and like, you know, like just work so hard until you burn out. Then you might get like a reward or whatever. No. When did he say that? He said, sleep at night, rest at night, take breaks, you know, read your salah. And know that he's the provider. Know that he's the provider. Know that he's the provider. He's already written everything for you. Your provision's written. Everything's done for you, done for you, done for you, done for you. And then you get in the way. You get in the way of receiving your own blessings because you start worshiping the means instead of the creator, the giver, the sustainer. You start saying, money, 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 you're gonna change my life. And you start chasing money. And money's like, wait, hold up. It's like the more you run after money's out here like, bro, get a grip. Chill. Back off. If you're gonna beg me, I'm gonna make you beg. Period. Money's like that. I don't even know if these looked good. These are my best friend's glasses. She forgot them here. But do you see my point, right? That what you chase, what you worship, and by worship, I mean what you idolize, becomes your test. Khalas. And then you start crying over it. Oh, that boy broke my heart. Well, why were you idolizing him so much? Why did you think your sense of self-worth depended on him? Oh, this person did this to me and I had him in such high regard. You know, I valued these people and I honored them and they did this to me. Why did you put them on a pedestal? The only one worthy of being on a pedestal is God. So every time we put something or someone else on a pedestal, what happens? That thing becomes like that cold-hearted, cool little detached, like, I'm gonna make you beg. Period. And you're just like, please, please, please. You're not lacking anything. And that's the whole purpose of the time travel method. It's to get you to realize that it all exists right here, right now. That you don't have to go anywhere to access your blessings. You simply make a psychological journey right over here. And the moment you do that and you sustain that and you build it on, like you keep practicing it over and over again, they start entering. All a matter of how much more faith can you have in God, because God says, I am as my servant thinks of me, right? What are you thinking of God? Is he a constrainer in your life? Is he constricting things in your life? Is he not providing for you well? Like, what are your trust issues with God? And most people don't know that. Oh, there's a God. Like, God is not separate from your idea of reality. There's no God over here and life over here. It is very hand in hand. It is very intertwined. It is your relationship with God is a direct reflection of your relationship with reality. And this is so hard-hitting because there are people out there in the world, and I know I'm going on a tangent, right? But I really feel like I need to say this. But there are people who pray day in and day out, and they're on their prayer mats, and they're occupying mosques, and they're occupying churches, and they're just like, God, I wish you did this. I wish you did that. God, where's your faith at? You're begging, you're hoping, but where's your certainty at? Like if you actually read the word of God, whether it's in the Quran, the Bible, wherever, you will recognize that he has constantly, perpetually given you a sense of certainty that you're taken care of. The Prophet, peace be upon him, he said, if you were to rely on Allah the way that the birds rely on him for provision, I'm paraphrasing, then that's how you would experience that level of sustenance. When does a bird wake up and go like, will I get a worm today? Or is it another day when I'm gonna go to hungry to sleep? Billions, trillions of creatures on earth. They're all taken care of. But we human beings, with our high intellect, we think we're freaking special. We think we're above the law. So we're like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. God is providing. God is the doer. You don't have the how isn't your job, which is like, this is such an important preface before I get to this time travel method, because I know people out there, they're like, but how, Anna? I don't know how it's gonna happen. I don't know the process. You don't have to know. It's not your job. God's gonna do it for you. But it takes that level of surrender and faith and like a trust fall into him, where it's like, oh my God, I can't see it, but God, like, I don't have to know how it's gonna happen to know it's already done, to know you've got my back, because when have you ever let me down? And anything that we've experienced where we attribute it to God let me down here, God didn't come through here, that's your own doing, because you were in your own way so much. You were in your, God says, I don't change the state of a people until they change what's inside them. What is inside you? You're 4D, your inner reality. So we very conveniently miss out on this, and we intellectualize and legalize religion and see it as separate to life. Religion without spirituality, without feeling God, is just a book of laws that you're following. And yet, like the knowing of God itself, right? The faith itself, it should birth this level of audacity in you that, wait, hold up, I move with God, period. And that level of audacity is what makes you expand your consciousness, where you're like, no matter what it is, I just get to convict in it. God will show it to me. So your whole job is to get out of your way. Mind is time. It creates time, it perceives time. And you may have noticed that when you're really in your head about stuff, when you're feeling anxious, when you're feeling frustrated, like when you're really identified with the mind, the logical mind, time is something that you experience very heavy, like you really, like it slows down, and it's like every minute is like, you know? But when you're in a state of flow and you're in presence and you're just having fun and you're just being and you're living and you're just like, you're checked out from the logic and you're just dropped in the present moment, time flies. You don't even realize it. Like our quantum code classes, right? 2 hours passed by and I'm like, hold up, like where did the time go? You don't perceive time when you're no longer being logical. But like when I'm recording these videos, like I'll think, oh, I just spoke for 10 minutes and it's like 50 minutes and I'm like cropping and editing and all that. You don't realize it. So what is the time travel method, right? It is that when you over here, right now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna use your imagination, which is the bridge, which is the key, which is the tool, to tap into the end, all right? You're gonna time travel to future o'clock. So here's what I like to do, all right? Now, I'll give you an example of this morning. This morning, I woke up this morning. No, this morning, couple of hours into my day, like I had a great morning and just a couple of hours later, I'm like, I'm like, I think I was feeling understimulated, right? Like my brain was like, I want something like that's, you know, like I want novelty. I want like an experience, right? ADHD, thank you. So what I went, like, I got up and I started to do my makeup. And then I was like, And this is when I use the time travel method, right? So what I do is I close my eyes and then I just pretend that I landed in the body of this moment in time from the future. So I am Anna from like 2028, for example, and I open my eyes and I'm going like, oh my God, it is so different here. So I pretend that I'm living a day in the life of Anna, April 2024. No, 2025. God. And I start speaking in the past. I start to speak as if I'm from the future and I'm addressing this reality and I'm addressing her whatever the thoughts her mind has. So in moments where if my mind would have like any doubts or like it would try to like bring me back to like a state of limitation or whatever, or just remind me of it, I just like to address that without resisting it. I go like, oh my God. Like I start talking to myself as if I'm talking to someone else out loud. And I'm like, oh, and I put my like, I speak about myself in third person. So I'll be like, oh my God, I remember when Anna used to think this way and she used to feel this way. That was crazy because like I'm from 2028 and I just came into this body, her body, to experience, like just to remember like what it was like during this time. And it's like, girl, you're worrying about this shit? Like it's already done. And I affirm my wish fulfilled as if I'm from it. I'm living from it. I am here from it. And I'm like coaching Anna through it. Coaching my past self through it. It's a very fun little game of imagination. And once you get the hang of it, it's like you're taught, like it's like there's like a conference room with different parts of you, right? So I'm like, and I will talk to my mind out loud. I'll be like, girl, shut up. Like we don't roll like that over here. And it's like the more you, instead of like going like, oh, negative thought, you make it playful and you move around it, the easier it is there for it to fade away without resistance. And that instant like embodiment of like, I come in with the certainty of that, of her. And I command this version to be like, hey, settle the frick down because it's already done. I saw it. I'm from there. And then the air changes, the spine's like, you know, like you stand taller and it's like, all right, tell me more. And I'm like, all I had to do was surrender, allow God to pour through. And like, babe, like you did half the work in this time that you've done all your life. And everything happened for you like this. Like, I'm just like, it's all imagination. It's all a game of how playful you can get with yourself. And because here's the thing, you have to, the most important part is that most people, the distinction I'd say, is that most people think off the wish fulfilled. They think about their end, about the vision, about the goal, about the manifestation, when you just have to think from it, from the end, from having already received it, from having already experienced it, when it is normal for you. So you, when you're doing the time travel method, whatever things you have going on right now, when you're imagining that you're coming from the future, where you're coming from the big end of like how exciting it is over there, then it's like when you come here, you're like, oh my God, like this is what you were stressing over, honey. Like we are over there. Like it is different. And then suddenly these things that once seemed, oh my God, large and big and whatever, become normal and insignificant in a moment. Because why? You shift your state of consciousness. If, for example, I used to do this if I ever felt like I couldn't like come up with an idea for something or whatever, I'd be like, oh my God, after having given 3 TED Talks and like 100 keynote speeches, I think that I'm full of ideas and I talk in my little reality, and then suddenly an idea comes, because the idea will come from the state of consciousness that already has it, because all of those timelines, all those states of consciousness exist right now. It's not out there in the future. You're just tapping into something that already exists in this moment in the quantum realm. So basically, when you shift your state of consciousness, everything, all the thoughts, the emotions, the beliefs, the certainty, the energy, the flow, the money, money, the opportunities, the people, everything that is associated with that state of consciousness is drawn to you. So solutions come to you like this, like a little river. They flow to you. So you don't have to fight against your problems. You just shift your state of consciousness and khalas, that's it, period. You're inspired to move through them. The time travel method, everybody. So here's, you can make it fun in different ways. I'm just pretending to relive this memory. Sometimes I do that. I'm like, I'm gonna, oh my God, I remember, Anna, when you used to live here. Period. I'm just here to relive, a memory from the past and just see what it was like. Because life is so different. I wanted to see. So I put all that thing that we, in the realm of separation, project out in the future, I put it in the past. And I say it's already happened. So you take future visions and you make them into your memories. And then what happens is your self-concept changes. Because if you're someone who's lived that life, then you move different, period, right? You could be like, I'm already there, just here to visit. Turn it into a game, right? Because let me tell you this, accessing the state is more important than what process or method that you use. The thing that is of relevance to us is how do I access the state, which is why I love my neurodivergent brain, because it's always gamifying things. And I will randomly come up with processes like this. And I'm like, hey, I like that. I vibe with that, period. And it works. So it's about how can you, because people get so hung up on which method should I use. No, it's about what's the fastest way I can access the state? It's you close your eyes, you're like, oh, whoa, the world looks different. Imagine, honey. It's not that hard. It's easy. It's very easy to use your imagination playfully. And the more you practice it, the more you're going to have fun with it. Because remember, it's not that serious. It's not serious at all. Y'all out here just frowning and so pissed about life and shit. It's making it to be so serious. Oh yeah, easy for you to say because everything comes easy to you, but in the real world we have real problems. What, am I operating in some fake world? Sir. People get validation out of their problem. I'm gonna say that, right? They get validation out of perpetuating their problem. So they're like, oh my God, if I shift. Oh my God, the funniest thing happened. One of my friends today asked me, he was like, what was your first, you've known me for this long and stuff, right? If you were to give me an analysis of what you think about me, just tell me a little bit, right? What would you say? What are my fears and stuff like that? And I was like, I'm not gonna do that. I was like, look, dude, it's a lot, because I don't know, but I can pick up on things about people that they're not yet aware of within themselves. And I think that's because I've gone through those depths within myself. So all the depths we go within ourselves is the depth to which we can perceive other people. So I can see their own unconsciousness and their patterns and their fears and beliefs, and also because I'm a coach, right? Anyways, so I kept saying no, I don't think I should do that. I don't think I should do that. And then he just kept oh, come on, just tell me a bit, right? And then I don't know what happened, but I went in a zone, right? I went on a freaking, what is it called? A monologue, right? And I'm just your childhood, this, here, this. And 10, 15 minutes later, I don't even know for how long I went. And he's just I said a bit. And I was like, dude, once I start, I can't stop. But that's the thing, and he was so taken aback. And that's how most people are, because they lie to themselves. And I know that because I used to. So point is, right? If you, couple key points, right? To shift the external, what do we need to do? Hola, sweet Dora. We need to change what are we projecting from the internal realities inside out. So the quantum has all different realities access available right now, which is why you can use the time travel method to simply shift your state of consciousness, attach to that timeline, live from it, think from it, speak from it, pretend from it, imagine from it, and then you're going to start to notice your outer world change like this. Trust me, like, because this is you changing your self-concept. Because if you've already gotten what you desire so badly, you're not chasing it, you're just neutral about it, right? Period. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. A couple of things, couple of cool extrovert. Try it out, tell me how it goes. And if you want my free quantum leaping guide with a PDF, and it's a transmission video, first link in the description. If you want a 21-day plug and play process for exactly this, but like there's like a guided activation and a nighttime audio and a 2-hour long workshop or something. It's my zero BS method. It's just $27. It's like amazing. Like people have experienced a lot of shifts through it. Okay, so you can get that from the second link. If you want to play some rampages are basically like high energy, high frequency thoughts that are injected that hijack your subconscious, and you listen to them and you're just like transported to another planet. You can get all of my rampages. I don't think I'm gonna take off this offer for probably like until May or something. They're all my rampages, 10 rampages, 2 activations. You can get those, okay? And in, I think, about somewhere like a little less than 48 hours or something, Quantum Code week 2 begins, okay? That's when I will be closing doors to joining Quantum Code. Right now, Quantum Code, if you don't already know, it's my 4-week live quantum leaping experience, okay? And when I tell you that this stuff is freaking magical, I mean it. When I tell you that people like just after the first week, they have experienced insane shifts, I freaking mean it. Okay, and like you can see all these little things that they've said so far. So this is like a live quantum leaping experience where every week is like a different activation, integration. It is out of this world. I am certain nothing like this exists. If you want to be a part of this experience and completely shift forever, where this is the last course you ever need to buy, you will never, ever, ever need anything on manifestation, quantum, whatever, ever again. Like you will shift forever after this, okay? So it's $197 right now. You can still get in the live experience. It will close once week 2 is over. Then you will be able to purchase it once the experience ends as an entire recording for $555. So if you want to get in, we would love to take you with us through this ascension, this transcending that we're doing, and have you leap with us, okay? And that's pretty much it. I love you, and I will see you next time. Bye.